My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. Hey y'all, it's time for my monthly favorites video. Once again, I love filming these videos because I try to focus on not new makeup products. So new makeup products are coming into my life. I'm buying a little bit of new makeup with my budget, and I also receive a few things here and there in PR, but I'm not making favorites videos in which I tell you which of the things that are new this month are my favorites. Instead, I'm just talking about other things besides those things that have been my favorites this month. Sometimes they are makeup products, but they're things that I've had in my collection for a long time that have risen to the fore. But that's not actually going on this month. This month I have some behaviors that have been my favorite behaviors, and I do have a couple of things. I think one thing that is a product, but it's not a makeup product. You'll see. You'll see. This intro is just so senseless. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, so my first favorite has been washing my brushes. This is so ridiculous, but it's true. It's a true favorite. And in order to tell you why it's been my favorite, I have to confess that I have never been one for washing my brushes. I usually just let them get dirtier and dirtier and ever dirtier, and then wash them like once every 6 months or something. Like when it gets to the point where I can't use them anymore because I can't get clean color from them, or I'd spot clean them a little bit here and there, and then every once in a while I do this huge blowout where I wash them all. And here's the thing. I think a lot of people do that, but I think a lot of people have really a lot of brushes. And I, until recently, didn't have a lot of brushes. But I still would do that. So it wasn't great, but it was almost like I didn't know anything else because I was brush washing resistant. And so I didn't experience what it was like to have clean brushes more often. So recently, two things happened, or did one thing happen and one was kind of like a subset of the other one? I think that is more accurate. I decided to do a brush declutter because I received some amazing brushes in PR, which were the Rephr brushes. I love them so much still. I'm still using them like Billio, and I'm still using them all the time. And I also received a couple of beautiful face brushes. I just got to the point where I was like, fewer, nicer things needs to be applied as a philosophy to my brushes. So in order to declutter my brushes, I had to first wash my brushes because I didn't want you guys to see how dirty they were. It was like overhead filming. I was showing the brushes very close up. It was very intense. It was, you would have been horrified. Maybe many of you wouldn't have been because you have dirty brushes yourselves, but it was a much better declutter because I cleaned all the brushes, and also I gave away a lot of them. I moved a lot of them into the declutter pile, and I've since actually given a lot of brushes away. So I wanted them to be clean if I was going to give them away. It's obvious why I wash my brushes to declutter them. I don't need to explain that to you guys. But then I had these clean brushes, and it was so great to have clean brushes that as soon as they all got dirty again, my eye brushes, which happened pretty quickly because there were so many fewer of them since I had decluttered, I washed them again. And because there were fewer of them, it didn't take very long. And this is kind of like the key, I think. This is what I'm trying to explain as my favorite. It used to be that I had not like so many brushes. You saw how many I had in the declutter. It wasn't few, but it wasn't insane. I think people tend to collect and collect and collect brushes and have just so many. It wasn't really like that, but it was enough that the prospect of washing them was daunting. So I would use up all my favorites, and then I would start reaching for the ones I didn't like as much, and then I would just kind of move among them, and they would all be pretty dirty, but not untenably dirty. And there would be so many of them that to wash them, it would have taken so long that I would just put it off and put it off and put it off. But now there are many, many fewer. I think I have half as many eye brushes as I had before. And so what happens is they get much, much dirtier much more quickly. And it's also not as daunting. The prospect of washing them all isn't as daunting. And also the eye brushes obviously get dirtier faster. So I think twice this month. Not twice this month, but twice since I've done the brush declutter. So maybe once a month roughly, which I don't know, is that still embarrassing? Is that something I shouldn't be confessing on the internet? I don't know, but to me, maybe once every 3 weeks is like what it's sort of shaking down to be. But the brushes get super dirty and I'm like, I'm just gonna wash them. No big deal, because it's just the eye brushes. Like the cheek brushes, they tend to just sort of floof away their product and not retain very much of it. They need to be washed every once in a while, but not as frequently as the eye brushes. So twice since I did my brush declutter, I've washed my brushes. The more I say it, the dumber it sounds. But I've just been loving having pretty clean brushes most of the time. But now that I've talked it all through, what I've really loved is having fewer brushes, a smaller collection of specifically eye brushes, so that washing them isn't so daunting, so that I've been able to wash them more frequently, so I've been able to have clean brushes more often. That has been one of my favorite things this month. All right, the second thing I have on my list, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, is Instagram. I have become an Instagram maniac. I've become an Instagram monster, but in a good way. I mean, to me, in a good way. I think that, and I don't know if this is going up, this should be going up obviously after my check-in. So you should have, I'm filming it before I filmed my check-in, but you should already know if you've seen my check-in that I've been feeling a lot more energized lately. I've just been feeling more productive. I've been taking better care of myself. I've been more organized, and I've been able to produce more content, and I've wanted to produce more content. So that has obviously had repercussions for my YouTube channel, but it's also had repercussions over on Instagram. I've been posting every day, sometimes twice a day. I've been really working on tinkering with my camera settings and learning how to take good close-up pictures of my eye makeup, and that's made makeup playtime really fun because I've been playing with the makeup but also then photographing the makeup and sharing it most nights. It's all just been so fun. And I also learned how to use Instagram stories. When Angelica was here, she and Zane and Lauren taught me how to do it. And so I've been posting my outfit of the day almost every morning on Instagram stories. I've become active on Instagram. I was formerly passive on Instagram and I've become active on Instagram. And I'm just loving it. It's so fun to interact with some of you over there. It's fun to have a different platform, a different style platform that moves differently, that has different points of focus. I've been able to spotlight fashion a lot more easily over on my Instagram. It's just been such a joy this month. And I'm very grateful that I've had enough energy to do it, because I think that what tends to happen is when I get super busy, overwhelmed, stressed, or down, sad, I will draw back from Instagram. So I was pretty active last year, and even some of this year, posting my outfit of the day in my old house when I had that space with that beautiful plaster wall where I was able to take sunlit pictures every day. I would love to find a space here where I can take a better outfit of the day, like a photograph outfit of the day and not just a stories outfit of the day. So I'm working on it. It's evolving. My Instagram presence is evolving finally. So I was doing that for a while, and then, my life kind of went into a little bit of a downswing for a while. And one of the things that happened was that I stopped posting on Instagram really very much at all. And so it's exciting that it's back, because it means that I'm doing better, and it's also exciting for its own sake. If you have Instagram, if you're on Instagram but you're not following me, follow me, because I'm real on Instagram now. I'm a real boy. And then the thing that I wrote on the list underneath that is just that I've really been enjoying posting more on YouTube. And I will have talked about this in my check-in, I'm sure, but I specifically have been enjoying posting I've been calling it lighter content, and I suppose it is content where I'm spotlighting, my brown lipsticks, or just talking about single eyeshadows, or unboxing. I did that unboxing of a ColourPop order, like those just little fun things where the video is shorter, there's less pressure, and it's product focused. But my hope is that my perspective and my way of thinking about product and my way of thinking about shopping is still infusing those videos so that they aren't totally devoid of what you guys have come to expect from my channel, and they're not devoid of like the main thing that I have to offer. I hope that that's true, and maybe you guys can let me know, because it is something that I could think about tweaking more. But in the meantime, it's been fun to just like let go and make content and enjoy myself and love makeup and love beautiful things and be okay with that, and not feel like it has to be like this huge pressure cooker of like intense ideas and like game-changing videos all the time and blah blah blah, and my series like all lined up in a row, and making all the videos I said I would make in a timely fashion, and like all of that stuff. I've just like let myself off the hook this month, and the result has been like more videos and me feeling really positive and having a lot of energy to produce more videos. And that has been a true favorite. I have really, really loved those littler videos, the bonus videos that I've been sprinkling throughout the week for the past couple of weeks. What I actually wrote on my list is posting more less intense videos. That's been my favorite. That was the note that I took. Note to self: posting more less intense videos. Loved it. Okay, and kind of adjacent to that, although this is kind of for me and also a thing that I've been doing on my channel, one of my favorites this month has been playing with my single eyeshadows. And I have done it more than usual this month, although it is something that I do all the time. But I've also filmed it. And again, I'm not sure which of those videos will have already gone up and which of them are forthcoming, but I filmed that ColourPop unboxing, which isn't the same as just playing with my single shadows, although I did purchase some single shadows and I did play with them in that video. But I also filmed an overhead shot video where I was just rearranging my singles totally improvisationally, just grouping them in color stories, playing with them, swatching them. I filmed another one where I was building a grungy rainbow palette of singles, just switching them out, building a color story. Somebody just drove by on a truly annoying sounding vehicle. Some sort of scooter probably, but I'm glad that that's over. And Sadie is too. Sadie was not having that. Anyway, I filmed those videos, those overhead shot videos where I was playing with my single shadows, but that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what I've been doing. I also rearranged my singles and made a little palette to dupe the vibes of the Aha Honey palette. And I just have been constantly in my single shadows this month, rearranging them, playing with them, building little palettes, swatching them, messing with them, and building looks with them, making looks with them. I'm just really into singles right now, and that they were absolutely a favorite this month. And even though some of them are new, like I purchased some from ColourPop and I purchased some from JD Glow, even though that's true, I feel like the majority, the brunt of the favorite was just dealing with what I already had and moving around what I already had, and maybe a little bit incorporating what's new into what I already had. But again, similar to the lipsticks, when I talked about shopping my stash for the brown lipsticks and then happening to add one or two more brown lipsticks to that group, it felt organic and it felt like a kind of holistic appreciation for what I'm already dealing with and letting that grow by a tiny bit, rather than a looking away from what I have and fixating on like something new as being the only good thing in the world. So it's like buying new single shadows this month didn't feel like that. It felt like the first thing. It felt like a celebration of what I enjoy, and I continue to enjoy the whole pot, the whole business, rather than like having a what's it called? Mono-focused vision, monographic, monocle? I just tried to Google it, but I couldn't find the word that I'm looking for. Rather than only seeing what's new is what I meant. Ooh, the next thing on the list is my haircut. My haircut, I did it kind of on a whim. I was really not planning to cut my hair shorter than it was. I've loved that long hair the whole time I've had it, and I loved it up until the day the day I had it cut. I mean, I loved it even as I was having it cut, but it just had a sort of bolt from the blue, a vision. I mean, I think that I mentioned this in the first video after I had it cut, but really what happened is that I was trying to find inspo pictures for my bangs to take to my stylist. And after a while, I realized that all of the pictures I was saving were of this length of hair. And I was like, I'm just picking it for the bangs. I'm just picking it for the bangs. I like this one the best because the bangs are perfect. And then I was like, maybe I should pay attention to the fact that I'm privileging all of these pictures with this length of hair. Maybe I'm kind of into that. Maybe I secretly want that. And then I was like, I'm just going to go with that. And so that's what we did. The thing that I love about it is that it's easier to take care of. And maybe this is so stupid obvious to everyone who hasn't had long hair for years and years and years in a row, but it's just easier to take care of. It's lighter, it stays textured more easily because it's not weighed down. It's less in my face. It's much less like losing hairs all the time and having them be like coming out the ends. It's less unwieldy. It's just a little bit tidier. It's a little bit more self-styling. I am so glad that I had my hair cut this way. And I will probably grow it out now. I don't know if I'll maintain this length. Well, I don't know what will happen. Maybe I'll cut it even shorter. What do you think? Bob? Lob? I don't know what I'm gonna do, but needless to say, there are things about it that I didn't anticipate that I really appreciate that have made themselves clear over the course of this month, and it's been a true favorite for those reasons. I mean, I like how it looks, I'm cool with it, but really it's actually been like the ease of care. And I should mention too that I've increased the frequency of washing ever so slightly. I was at 10 days, every 10 days with my long hair, and I've gone up to about once a week. I think that because it's a little bit shorter, it gets quite dirty faster, and it kind of gets irrevocably dirty sooner. I have to like rescue it with dry shampoo a little bit sooner, and then it can no longer be rescued just a couple days earlier than it used to be getting to that point when I had the long hair. So I just wanted to tell you guys that because I have that whole, feature length film up on my channel about washing your hair infrequently and hair care and all of this stuff. I still stand by everything I said in that video, but I also have experienced that a slightly different haircut, even with my same hair texture and everything, has encouraged me into a slightly different habit, just slightly different. I think at that time when I filmed that feature-length film about my hair, I was washing my hair literally twice a month. It was like longer than 10 days that I was going. And now I'm probably up to 3, maybe 4 times a month. I maybe haven't had it cut long enough to know. What is this piece doing? I should have been looking in the monitor. Shouldn't have let that happen. Sorry, guys. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just, the thing is though, that with my longer hair, right after washing, it took so much training to get it how I wanted it. And with this hair, it's just less effort. So it doesn't feel as risky to wash it, doesn't feel as impactful. I don't feel like I'm a slave to training my hair to do the right thing for the 2 or 3 days after I wash it in the way that I used to be with my longer hair. I feel like I can wash it and just be like, all right, do the thing. And then it's like, okay. And then we're like happy together for a week. And then that happens again. I should move on. I should move on from talking about my hair. I did want to briefly mention the nails because it's a thing. It's a thing that I'm doing now and I'm not sorry. And it's definitely a favorite. We're kind of moving, I mean, I guess I paid for my haircut, but we're kind of moving in now to things that cost money. I guess washing my brushes, Instagram, posting on YouTube, and playing with my single eyeshadows are all free favorites that, are just behaviors. My haircut obviously did cost money, but it's more an issue of style choice. That's the thing that I've been enjoying. And I think the same kind of thing is true about the gel nails. I wanted to mention them. They are a true favorite. So here's what's going on. I got gel extensions I had never had any kind of nail extensions ever. I had never had acrylics. I still never have had acrylics. But when I glued on those Kiss nails a couple of months ago, I loved the effect so much. And then I had to have them professionally removed. So I found a place very near to where I live, and I really, really love the nail technician. And I had her remove them because I just was afraid I was going to destroy my nails removing them myself. And then when I was in there, I was like, maybe I should come back in a couple of weeks and just see what it's like to have a full-on like manicure with tips. I was thinking acrylic nails because I didn't know any better. But then I went and did a bunch of research, and I learned that there are acrylic nails, which, I think we all have a sense of what those are. But there's also gel nails, and I used to be confused and think that that just meant a gel manicure, like the kind of nail polish that gets cured with a UV light, which if you go in and you're like getting a gel manicure, that's what that is. And I've had that several times in the past. I have fallen off a bit of doing that. During my no-buy year, I didn't get my nails done, I think, at all. And I do get questions about this, and I wanted to address it. Salon services were not included in my no-buy year, and they aren't included in my budget either. And that's because I don't spend that much money on them. And, well, that's partly why. The real reason, the most solid reason why, is that I don't feel addicted to them. I don't do it compulsively. And I always feel like it's this treat when it's time to have my hair cut, or when I decide to have my nails done. Or I even group it along with things like having a massage, which I do once in a while. I always feel like it's a treat when it's time to do a thing like that, and if I'm able to afford a thing like that. But it doesn't feel compulsively indulgent the way that shopping does and the way that stuff does. So I just didn't feel like it's something that I needed to keep in check. And that's why I didn't include it in my no-buy rules. And that's also why I didn't include it in my budget. And I still feel that way. And that theory was borne out completely during my no-buy year because I never got my nails done. I think I got my hair cut once or twice during the year of 2018. Twice, I guess, because, well, did I get my bangs? Once or twice, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But, extremely infrequently. I get my hair cut twice a year, tops. So it's not the same as people who are like needing to budget for that because it's taking like big bites out of their expendable income. However, now that so that, wow, this story is like pretty roundabout. I'll come back to the money part of this in a minute. So I went in to get my drugstore glue-on nails removed. I got the idea in my head that I might want to try nail extensions for the first time in my life, just to try it. And I really was just curious. I was like, it's a thing in the beauty world. I'm learning more about the beauty world. I'm just curious. I was like, I want to have the experience. I did enjoy having those glue-on nails on. I really enjoyed the experience. So I was like, let's see what this is all about. Let's see if it's for me. So I did the research, and I learned that there are acrylic extensions and then there are gel extensions, which are actually false nails, but with a totally different substance. And I'm not going to go into it now. I'm not like a nail expert, and you guys can do the research yourself, but I determined after much reading that gel nails were for me, gel extensions. So I went in a couple weeks after I had removed, I let my nails breathe a little bit after I had removed the glue-on nails. I let them kind of repair and breathe and get less sensitive. And then I went in and had these gel extensions applied, and I love them. I love them. And the cool thing is my natural nails have grown out far enough underneath them that now there's no extension. I don't have extensions. It's just, there's a gel overlay that's not just gel polish. It's like this thick gel stuff, also cured with a UV light, overlaying my natural nails and making them really, really strong, like bulletproof and just, I don't know, sturdy and lovely. And they never change. Like, they don't chip. Even though they're treated with gel polish, it's just much, much more bulletproof than a regular gel manicure. All that happens is they grow out. And this brings me to the money issue, because my nails grow, my nails and hair all grow really, really fast. I don't know, I'm like aging super fast or something, but my nails and hair grow really fast. So I have to go in, the longest I can go with the gel manicure is 3 weeks, about 3 weeks, maybe a tiny bit longer. And then I have to go in and get them done again because they start growing out so far that there's a huge, one issue is that the aesthetic issue is that there's a huge gap then between my cuticle and the beginning of the gel overlay. But the main issue is that they just get really long, and then I can't do things as easily, can't type as easily. So I have to go in and get them replaced. Replaced, fixed, filled. That's what it's called. I have to go in and get a fill. Gosh, I'm talking about nails for a really long time. The point is, it's ending up, because I'm doing it as a chain, salon services have now become a regular expense. And I've thought about it. I've looked at the amount of money. It's ending up being something like $50 every 3 weeks. And to me, it's not endangering my financial well-being right now. Again, I don't feel compulsive about it. I don't feel like it's something that needs to come out of my budget. So I'm sticking with my rules wherein salon services are separate from my budget, but I'm keeping tabs on myself. I'm paying attention. I'm keeping an eye on my bank balance as always. And I'm just experiencing it right now and seeing how I feel. And I'm continuing to think about it. I'm making sure that I'm aware of the fact that my initial rules for salon services were made during a time when I was not getting a gel nail fill every 3 weeks. And now that I am, I'm continuing to evaluate, and I will reevaluate as I go forward. But for now, I don't take that out of my budget. And I freaking love the nails. And there's one other thing I wanted to say about it, which is that so I've talked before about the fact that I enjoyed not needing to have manicured nails, and that's true. All during my no-buy year, I think raw nails are lovely. And I was perfectly happy with that. And I didn't feel unstylish and unfancy, and I didn't feel like a bad YouTuber. And I actually liked modeling that. I liked the fact that my nails were just natural all the time. I'm into that. I'm still into that. I'm sure that I will go back to that probably before too long. I don't feel like I need to have fancy manicures or lovely long nails or like claws in order to be a good beauty guru or be on social media, et cetera, et cetera. But I have been appreciating the fact that when I go to take like an Instagram picture of this beautiful ring that Carolina sent me, or if I go to take an Instagram picture of, I don't know, anything that I'm holding, or even myself holding my phone to take a selfie and my hands are in the picture, that my nails look bomb in those pictures. I've just been appreciating it, both on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube too, because like when I filmed those overhead videos of myself swatching lipsticks and rearranging shadows, my manicures, it's like the star. It's like on the screen, it's being featured. And I appreciate I was going to say like the level of professionalism that it adds, but I don't really mean that. I don't really believe that, because I don't think it would be less professional to have short nails or unmanicured nails and be doing all of those same things. I think it would be equally professional. What I appreciate is the level of aesthetics that it adds. I appreciate that level of polish and style and flair. It's exciting to be able to express myself in this one extra way. And the fact that I have a platform and that it's part of that, it's incorporated into that, makes me appreciate it even more. So in a way, I kind of think of it as a business expense, or a business related expense at the very least, because it's not something that I'm required to do for my work on YouTube, but it is something that's contributing to my work on YouTube. It's contributing to the aesthetics of the platform that I'm building. And that's another reason that I feel even more okay about not taking it out of my budget, because now that I'm doing it and I see how it contributes to the images that I post on Instagram and the overhead shooting and all of that stuff, I relish it as part of the aesthetics of my online presence. I just feel like I feel like I woke up this morning and started talking about nails and I only just stopped. That's how crazy I feel right now, having talked about nails for so long. I'm so sorry. Is my favorites video usually, I feel like this would be a really long favorites video. I need to end this thing. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And don't forget to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.